Hello and thank you for watching. This is STSC back again with LEGO Transformers Speed Demon. A lot of the time when I'm building a Transformer, I have a base idea I start with. This was not one of those cases. I completely built this guy on a whim. To be honest, I hadn't built a Transformer in a little while and I thought, well, I should really get back to it. So I just looked in my parts bin and I grabbed pretty much two pieces. These wheels and the macaronis. And I thought, let's make an off-road vehicle. And as you can see here, I pretty much ended up with a monster truck. Now I'm not sure if the wheels here are actually big enough for it to be a proper monster truck. I feel like they should maybe be a little bigger, but I went with these ones because I feel like they just look nice on him and they allow him to roll very nicely. Taking a closer look, I really enjoy how the front of the truck almost looks like a monster face. The massive bumper almost looks like an underbite. It's got the horns, and the little headlights kind of look like eyes. Coming to the back, it's definitely a lot less interesting. He does have these orange taillights here, which I don't really know if monster trucks have. I mean, I don't know if they have much use for taillights, considering they're not going to be on streets. But he does have this spoiler, which I also assume probably wouldn't be all that useful. It's probably more for show. I mean, look how massive he is. I don't think he needs the downforce. And turning him over, you can see some hints of what's to come. Speed Demon has one accessory, and in this mode it is a starter light. Like for races, or I guess starting his demolition derby. I'm not really sure if this makes sense for a monster truck. I just went with it because his weapon needed to do something, and this made about as much sense as any of the alternatives. So, I guess you can pose him like he's waiting for the light to turn green. Or, if you really wanted to, you could treat it like it's some kind of obstacle and you can ram into it. For size comparison, here we have Speed Demon with a minifigure. And with Ironhide. That's all there is to say about Speed Demon's truck mode, so now it's time to transform. And here we have Speed Demon in his robot mode, and it is quite the unique one. As you may notice, his entire body is his head, not unlike a gunman from Gurren Lagann. This was completely a happy accident, and I didn't actually build this guy with this in mind. You might also notice he's strikingly similar to an Oni with the red face, evil eyes, and horns. That also was not actually intentional. I posted work-in-progress pictures of this guy in a couple group chats, and a lot of people pointed out he looked like an Oni. So I decided to give him the horns to really lean into it. And of course, that's where he gets the name Speed Demon, because, well, he's literally a demon. Overall, I'm really happy with how this mode turned out. Having the hinge bricks as teeth really works well, and I love having the eyebrows independent. It allows for a little bit of posability to get more emotions out of him, which I'll show later in the video. Taking a look from behind, you'll notice that he actually has the tail lights on his butt, which I kind of find endearing. For a size comparison, here we have Speed Demon with a minifigure. And with Ironhide. For articulation, starting with the legs, he has a joint at the hips, which is a universal joint. It allows for a swivel and then an outward movement. Then for forward movement, he has this little pivot here. And then at the knees, he can bend maybe about 180 really. Then at the ankles, he has a pivot, which is actually located at the center of the wheel, so it kind of looks cool. And you get like the foot is rotating with the wheel. Then you can kind of fiddle with the foot a little bit, but I don't think it's very useful. Then at the arms, there is an outward joint at the shoulder, a forward and backward joint at the shoulder, a swivel at the elbow, and a swivel at the wrist. However, his most fun articulation is in his face. His eyebrows and shoulders are actually attached through his eyes. If I bring up his eyebrow here, you'll notice that his eyes are actually kind of a double joint. So, obviously, first of all, the eyebrow is on a pivot. So you can kind of bring one of his eyebrows up like this. Maybe like he's doing the rock kind of thing. But then you can kind of bring this up and get a different look like that. Or you can use that in conjunction with a hinge joint back, kind of a reverse butterfly, to get like a super angry eyebrow look. So really, depending on what you want him to look like, there's a lot of range. You can also do the reverse and make him look kind of sad. Bringing back his accessory, we can now transform it into a weapon. You want to take the base and just straighten it out like this, and then come to the center and extend out the stem to be a nice handle. And then your starter light turns into a cannonbow, which I probably butchered the pronunciation on, but it is the traditional weapon that Oni were depicted to use. You'll notice here it has this kind of a ring. A lot of the pictures I saw, they had rings with chains hanging off on the base of the handle, so I thought it could be cool to incorporate that. And obviously, these are kind of the spikes or the studs which you would bash people with. And of course, it does just clip into his hand. And I think he looks pretty awesome wielding it. Well, that's all I have to say about Speed Demon. Personally, I'm really happy with how this build turned out. I think he ended up really characterful and interesting. Hopefully you enjoyed him too, and I'll see you next time.